Hi guys! So over the last couple of days I've been shopping for books and I've gone to Target and I actually got a book from Book of the Month. My first one. I'm super excited. What they sent me was What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. I'm super excited for this. I haven't read it. It sounded really interesting. It says that Naomi believes in magic, and her two best friends, Cassidy and Olivia, spent the summer roaming the woods, imagining the world of ceremony and wonder, the goddess game. So that's kind of interesting. This is a little out of what I normally read, but I'm trying to get out of what I normally read for my genre. So this is, again, from Book of the Month. It is not sponsored. Not yet. Hopefully they will. And I already have 2 added to my box for next month. And on the 1st of February, I get to pick my February book. The next book I picked up is The Songs of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This has been all over the YouTubes that I have watched. It says Achilles, the best of all the Greeks, son of the cruel sea goddess Thetis and the legendary king Peleus, is strong, swift, and beautiful, irresistible to all who meet him. So that's just a little bit of a background on the book. I've heard not so great things about this book, but I'm willing to give it a try. The next book I picked up is Circe, again by Madeline Miller. This one I just saw on Sara on her YouTube page, and it sounded really interesting. On the back of this, it says, "In the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. But Circe is a strange child, not powerful like her father, nor vicious, alluring like her mother." So this sounds really interesting. It sounds like it has to do with some Greek gods, like in the Songs of Achilles. It looks like it is going to be a fast read. And if, people want to do this as a book club book, there are questions in the back. So that is my third one. Then I finally picked up this one, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I haven't ever read this author, but the 3 YouTubers I've watched makes it sound really interesting. And it says on the back here a little bit, it says, reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. That's just the first paragraph of what's on the back. I'm super excited to read this. I'm trying to finish the book that I'm on so I can start this one. I'm really intrigued by this book. The next one I picked up is by Colleen Hoover, Ugly Love. And I've never read Colleen Hoover, but she sounds extremely interesting. On the back it says, it's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. So I'm excited to read this. It sounds like Grumpy Sunshine and possibly Enemies to Lovers. So this one I'm excited to read as well. I also picked up another Colleen Hoover book called Hopeless. It says Sky, a senior in high school, meets Dean Holder, a guy with a promiscuous reputation that rivals her own. From their first encounter, he terrifies and captivates her. Something about him sparks memories of her deeply troubled past, a time she's tried so hard to bury. This sounds really, really interesting. As you can see here on the bottom, It Ends With Us is also by Colleen Hoover. I have the book It Begins With Us. I just found out today from another YouTuber that this is one in a series of 3. So before I read this, I want to get the other 2 books in the series so that way it all makes sense. I finally picked up the other 3 books for the a court series. So I have A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. As you can see, this here is way smaller than this one. This one I think is the biggest book. This is A Court of Silver Flames by Sara J. Maas. And this, I believe, is the 5th book in the series. This one here is the 3rd book. This one is super little. I think it's going to be a really fast read. And it looks like it has to do with a little bit of law and a few people getting in trouble and how it may impact their future. And then I also have A Court of Wings and Ruins, also by Sara J. Maas. This, I believe, is the 4th book, and there are 5 books in this series total. So it is A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Frost and Starlight, A Court of Wings and Ruin, and then A Court of Silver Flames. So I'm super excited to read this. As you can see, just these 3 books are super thick. They sound really interesting. They sound like they are on the verge of the Hunger Games, with maybe a little romance mixed in there, more so than on the Hunger Games. I'm super excited to start these series. I hope to read this whole series in January. And then I am part of a book club with Sarah Carioli. And she has not announced it yet, but the one with the most votes thus far is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I have not read this. I haven't read anything by Lynn Painter. The other one is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This sounds like it's supposed to be a really good book. It is supposed to be about let's see, a dumpster fire from Valentine's Day. Emily escapes to her grandmother's house because she needs girl talk and companionship. And it sounds like it seems like she's stuck in a time loop. So it sounds kind of like the movie Groundhog's Day, if anybody is old enough to know what that is. If not, Google it. If I can find it, I will link it below. And those are all the books that I have picked up. It is including my book club book. I've picked up all of these books in the last 2 days. I'm super excited. My TBR keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If you like this video, hit subscribe, like, and follow. Go ahead and share the video. I will link some of the things below for Sarah. That way you can go check out her YouTube channel. And a lot of these books you can also get on Amazon. I will link a Target thing below so you guys can find it that way. You know, please like, comment, and share. Again, hit subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!